how scary the butterfly effect really is. Why, if you understand the butterfly effect, your life will be smooth sailing. A butterfly fluttering its wings in Brazil could cause a tornado in Texas a month later. It may sound a little crazy, but it's this incredulity that reveals the horror of the butterfly effect. As early as 1961, American meteorologist Edward Lorenz used a computer to perform a series of calculations related to weather forecasting, because computers at the time were extremely slow. In order to save time, Lorenz decided to perform the second calculation from the middle of the program after the first calculation. However, when the results of the calculations came back, Lorenz was completely stupefied. The result of the second calculation was very different from the first, and the difference between the two calculations was only 1/10,000%. But it was this small error that caused the whole result to be completely different. So Lorenz carried out many more calculations. He realized that in the development of all things, any small change in the initial conditions would lead to a long and huge chain reaction in the whole system. Eventually, Lorenz summarized his findings and came up with the famous chaos theory. According to this theory, Lorenz believed that completely accurate weather forecasting was impossible to achieve. And in a subsequent lecture, he illustrated this effect with a poetic butterfly. And this is widely known as the butterfly effect. The concept of the butterfly effect is also very common in our lives. Take a simple example. One day when Jack woke up to take a shower, he left his watch by the sink. When his wife saw it, she put it on the dining table for fear that it would get wet. His son woke up to get some bread and accidentally dropped his watch on the floor. The watch was broken. When Jack saw it, he was furious and beat his son and scolded his wife. They had a big fight. Jack slammed the door and drove to the office, but halfway there he realized he'd left his laptop at home. Inside, there are very important information to give to the client, so he turned around and went to get the computer. But his wife had already left for work, and he had forgotten his keys at home. Jack had to call his wife to open the door. In her haste, she sprained her ankle going down the stairs. By the time she got back, Jack was already an hour late. The client had left. The boss of the company was so angry that he deducted all the year-end bonuses. His wife sprained her ankle and had to take time off from work for treatment. As a result, she lost her full attendance bonus, and his son failed his final exam because of the beating he got in the morning. In other words, just because the wife moved the watch, it triggered everything. In fact, in the whole incident, the broken watch only caused 10% of the loss, but this 10% loss was amplified by Jack's emotions and eventually caused 90% of the loss. If anything small is amplified by emotions, the chain reaction may be too great to regret. This is the killing power of the butterfly effect, but also most people's daily routine. So you must control your emotions. Don't make a fuss over small things. Otherwise, you and I may not be able to control what happens in the end.